Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode of Songs of Six. Today, I think it's time to get another dwarf quarter off the ground. Time to build more industry in our lovely New Ganymede. But to do that, we're gonna need about a bajillion cut stone, unless we wanted to build the dwarf quarter into the mountain. Which we could do, actually. It's just gonna be like a fucking nightmare and a half. You know what? I guess I'll get started on that. It's gonna be a monumental project, for sure. So we're talking about digging hundreds of squares. And only 5 of them can be accessed at a time. Ooh. I think it makes sense. Plus, there's tons of road in this zone for like a large road, I suppose. How much pleasure does a dwarf get out of being in a mountain? Let's see, it's just one more arrow compared to Grandstone. So they get up to 1.5. I guess I can just look at the dwarves here. If it's at least +1, then maybe I'll divert and I'll just build outside. Let's see, this guy's in Grandstone building. How do I check? There's a way to check, yeah, fulfillment. So, housing, true, he enjoys that. Be environment, right? Squareness, 100%, +1, building, 73%. Okay, he's getting 1.1 out of it. Okay. Yeah, never mind. Here's the thing. We're gonna eventually have a dwarf quarter or something, so this grand project is probably a good one to start. Actually, I'll just, I'll build my next zone of industry over here. Probably makes more sense. Maybe with enough time, we'll be able to move the industry out of this next industrial sector into the mountains. Because you can always just remove a building, right? So we could trade out the stuff in here for something else and we'll get a refund. There's no reason to be 100% efficient. Okay, well, I think first things first, we're gonna need the masons to be producing more. So I'm just gonna allocate some tools. There we go, 5 tools. That's gonna increase the productivity of cut stone by a very decent amount. And I'm going to improve the road that heads towards the industrial sector. I'm going to make it slightly larger than the other roads. There's been a minor woodcutting accident. I mean, it's tragic, but also no big deal. Alright, there we go. So that'll be the first step, and while we're waiting for all of this, the amount of stone production is going to go up. We currently have 218 cut stone produced per day. Presumably this is the value we're getting before any tools are given over. It might be worth investing a little bit of science into the masonry too. Yeah, like a few thousand just so we can get like a 10% production bonus. Like how it says the temperatures are rising to extreme values. It's literally winter. Isn't that like a positive thing? If it's too hot? So it didn't say lowering to an extreme value. Yeah, I'm not seeing anyone dying of exposure. Guess we're just getting a strong early start to our spring, which is very nice. So, where's the industry gonna be? We could maybe have a services block in this like bottom right hand block, because it's adjacent to so many houses. right? It would make sense to me to do it that way. I guess, yeah, I'll mark that off. And then the industrial block can be over here. And then there's just going to be a row of industrial blocks. We could have them on both sides here. Then we could do another services block in this corner, and then another housing block down here. Which I guess I'll just mark right now. What's about half width? I guess right here. So housing can go down here. And maybe another services block down here on the left-hand side to serve as a buffer between the houses. Maybe. We're gonna have to pay attention to our metal as well. We're making so much money, we can afford to import more ore. But still, let's see, we're producing, let's say 621, consuming 400. When we're not accounting for construction, which is something that I do. What's with this wooden ceiling? I feel like I've seen it in a previous episode. So I'm just gonna delete the job. Maybe whoever was building it like died or got trapped or something. Oh well. We currently have plenty of excess metal, so the first thing that I'm gonna want is a smith. There it is. Might as well just be like a humongous one. It's obviously going to be made out of grandstone. You just have the workbench line the center column. There we go. And get some auxiliaries. We're already at 94% efficiency. 99%. So boom, 100. It's a little bit disappointing. I guess I could just build like a bajillion storage in here. Because why not? That way they'll never run out of space. I think a 29 worker building is pretty reasonable. In fact, I think I'm gonna just add in 2 more smiths. This whole block is just gonna be, I guess, like bought up by the smithing guild. They're each going to have their own unique stuff that they're crafting. Like these guys will probably be the armor makers. If I remember correctly, back in ye old medieval times, there's actually more than just blacksmiths. There's like tinsmiths and coppersmiths and smiths that worked on like specific thing like pots and stuff. So a swordsmith would be their own, like, individual person. That wouldn't be the same as the guy who's making pots and pans. So we could probably headcanon that something like that's going on. Don't really know too much, like if it would just be like a bunch of individual, like tinier smithy shops or something. We're definitely going to want a metal smelter, just occupy the rest of this little zone. If I remember correctly, the metal smelter needed a shitload of auxiliary action. Yeah. I mean, I could build the building slightly deeper, I guess. We'll just have to put like a pillar in. That is fine, because we could put like an auxiliary here, and then the storage can go... Okay, we could put the storage here, and the auxiliary... Dude, are you serious? Okay, we moved the pillar, put the auxiliary like this, and then the pillar can go... Oh my god. Okay, maybe the auxiliary furnaces. We can't have the ginormous one. We could probably try to squeak in. Oh my god. This shit is so annoying. What the fuck? There's just no space. If I wanted to do this where there was space, I'm gonna have like the building be even deeper. Maybe I could rotate this furnace around, I guess. It was 1 tick away from max. So if I put the auxiliary, if I put the furnace this way, I could squeeze the auxiliaries here. %99 efficient, are you serious? Okay. We're just gonna have this dude be 1 longer. Then we can put the auxiliaries just all around here. We can put some storage in here. And then the pillars. Okay, we put the storage in here and then the pillar right there. That's really annoying. Whatever. It's gonna be absolute metric shitload of cut stone. That is why we upgraded our cut stone production in advance. I'm gonna put in a hearth and a well to service this area, just so that the workers don't die of heat stroke. And I guess with the rest of this area, we might as well just make it into plaza and, I don't know, put a little bit of decoration action. It's gonna be a dwarven quarter, by dwarves, for dwarves, so like just a few statues should be good. We could put a bench in the back and another statue in the corner. Yep, should be a reasonable enough area. It's not supposed to be like necessarily a full park, just like a reasonable zone for them to heat up. We've gotten our first smith outputting stuff. We need storage for these guys too. Okay, well, I guess just gonna have to go in an adjacent block. Could put it over here in the favela, I suppose. It's gonna be a wooden building. Probably gonna want it to be 1 smaller. Then we just get humongous crates. It's gonna be a slightly cramped entrance. That should store enough for everything. So that'll be the smithing. It's gonna be tools, weapons, and armor. The metal smelter will provide the metal. This warehouse will bring the coal and the ore for the places. Looks like we're gonna need a little bit more grindstone. Again, 200 is produced every single day. We have a bunch of excess gems to work with. How's the religion aspect? Let's see, crypts 2%. Who's all occupying the crypts? Oh, the fucking piganoids are hogging on the crypt space. We can maybe build another crypt, but that is also going to take a bunch of cut stone, so... okay. Got over 100 people in our smithies, so that is nice. Is the courthouse being overworked? No, the courthouse, the workload is 6%. We just don't have enough crime in Ganymede, which is a good problem to have, obviously. So there's just nobody... There's not really much reason to have a court when there's 2 prisoners total, right? Everyone has their day in court. Looks like we've gotten enough grindstone for our projects here. The warehouse has been done. I'll employ people in it. We're gonna want... Oh, Jesus. 3 crates of coal, I'm gonna say. Room for 3 storage or 4 storage of bars. 3 crates for ore. Actually, I'll do 3 crates for metal as well, because there's gonna be more ore and coal than metal, right? Oh yeah, and we're gonna want to store the tools and armor and weapons. Okay, we're maxed on our storage, so we definitely need, I'm gonna say one less crate of metal bars and one less crate of ore, so we can have 2 crates for weapons and tools and armor. Wait, we have a crate dedicated to jewelry. Okay, I'll put that crate in ore, I guess. There we go. That's that workshop, that warehouse completed. Very sweet. We're actually completely out of metal now. That's no big deal. We're building a surplus. We just need to wait for that surplus to happen. Hopefully I haven't just screwed myself here. We could dedicate some of our infinite science to improving our smelting as well, because why not? There we go. That's another 30% metal production. We'll just have to check up on the metal in a little while. We're already building back some of that cut stone, so I guess I will build another crypt. Just to be like right here in the services block. So, I mean, in a way, you know, a crypt is a service, right? It's not like a... How do I put this? It's not like a graveyard where it's like spooky, kind of. I mean, crypts are spooky to some degree, but it's not... It's just not the same. It's like a respectful place. We're gonna need a little bit less graves and a little bit more statues. So I'm gonna start plopping the statues first, and then once we hit 100... Alright, well that's just how many graves there's gonna be. I think a crypt like this could fit in a fantasy, or well, in a town in general. Oh, I made it out of wood! Oh, that's disgusting. I can't believe I've done this. I felt like I was forgetting something. Well, I'll make the ceiling out of grindstone, I guess. And then I'm just gonna have to replace these jobs with grindstone ones. Can I? Okay, I can override other structures. Okay, so they're gonna have a job to override all these. Okay, we fixed it. It's gonna be wooden door frames, but that's fine. It's gonna require a bajillion cut stone, but we have all that. Are we building a surplus of metal? Please tell me we are. It's looking a little bit dubious. Invest a little bit more science in the metal production. So that's another 10%. Maybe I should shut down some of these blacksmiths too. How do we have 155 odd jobbers? Aren't we super lacking odd jobbers before? Did something change in between now and last episode? Oh, you know what it might be? It might be just the lack of metal, I guess. Okay. I'm gonna turn these buildings off for now. It's really sucky. Kind of jerking their chain here. But that'll give us the opportunity to build a fuck ton of metal up, and then we'll use the metal to upgrade the smelter, which will give us even more metal. The blacksmiths will be online very shortly. What's another key industry we should build? I've already got plenty of carpenters. We could do with more clothing, I guess. Have like a tailor in this district. I don't think that requires metal to build. So if we do crafting, tailor, yeah, it costs stone and furniture. So that could be, oof. Mouse kind of clicked extra there. That could be the Alright, experience lost. That's to be expected. That's going to come back as soon as we come back on that front. What was I saying? This is... that completely mind flooded me. Damn it. This is going to be the long building here. Let's see, 92% efficiency. We're going to need a little bit more space. I think I'm perfectly content with doing like a L-shaped building here. And that this little zone's just going to store the storage and the extra auxiliaries. Isolation 100%. I can just put in some more doors. There we go. That's mostly square too, so that'll be nice. I guess I'll plop another road down where I think this block should end. I don't think any other work buildings use cloth. Trying to look. No, I think it's just the tailor. So maybe we could do 2 tailories. We could just make it like clothing be just a export for us that's reliable. Alright, I've upgraded the metal smelter once. Yeah, I think I will do that. I'm just gonna have a tailory over here. It's gonna have a ginormous workbench. Worst case scenario, if we don't wanna have 10 bajillion tailories, what we could do is just have like a warehouse fill the rest of the block out. And I think that would be perfectly fine. Let's see. So auxiliaries, 100%. We're gonna need this building to be slightly longer, so that we can have the storage. It's gonna house 24 employees, which is perfectly reasonable. I think I will go for the warehouse plan to round the block off. There we go. That's a reasonable enough shape. It's very probably going to be pignoids here, so I'm just going to make the building organic. Looks like we can do the old double plus single over here, like this. There we go. I think that's reasonably used space. It's going to store 7,000 of whatever we want. And in here we can put, I don't know, probably like speaker stands. This could be like a nice little park, right? Though we are definitely going to be out of cut stone for a little bit, so I'm going to just wait a day. Temperatures rising to extreme levels. Luckily we already have a well. We probably are going to need a janitor, so I'll just put one of these suckers, I don't know, in this corner over here. That'll service this area. It'll be nice. We'll be able to get rid of some of this fabric. Should be very, very nice. A little bit of a tautological statement. Just repeated myself. Alright, we've gotten our smelter up to maximum capacity. It's producing 10 bars per day. I'm going to activate my first blacksmith. It is online. We've gotten a case of the white shimmer. Maybe as part of this Dwarven district we can have another hospital too. Probably wouldn't be a bad idea. We don't necessarily have the opium to be powering like a bajillion hospitals all at once, but at the same time, we don't really use the opium except when there's an accident or the plague. So, who knows? This is reasonable enough building layout. So I'm just gonna send it. There's been 41 subjects injured. Oh my god, it's another friggin' training accident. This shit sucks so much. 7 people are actually like fucked up too. Okay, it looks like they're making their way to the hospital nearby though. Hopefully most of them make it out. Probably a real bad time for it too, because people are sick as well. Is this the white shimmer? Let's see. White shimmer. Being treated. Yeah, it looks like everyone's just got the white shimmer, not the plague. Okay. Well, that's not the end of the world then. So we had one more accidental or a wrongful death from accident. Obviously, you're gonna want cloth for the tailory and takes metal that we don't have to upgrade it. Which bee would it be? Just gonna have like 6 crates for clothing and 12 crates for fabric, and the remaining 10 crates I'll just have for industry and adjacent blocks. Hopefully we continue to make a surplus of metal. It might be worthwhile. Ooh. Might be worthwhile to make another metal smelter. Though I am a little bit paranoid of going too crazy with it. Let's see, we're producing 849, we're consuming 474. Okay. So it looks like last year we consumed 776, so we're only going to be making like 100 surplus metal an entire year at this rate. I guess another tiny metal smelter wouldn't hurt. Just have it be like this. It's not exactly the greatest shape, but that is fine. I think there's room for a very small building over here, so that should be workable. Yep, because there's actually enough space for this guy, we can easily store all the metal we need. There we go. It's going to take another 188 cut stone, which we have in abundance. It might make sense to make all the roads around here into grandstone too. Especially up to the warehouse, just to keep things moving at a fastish pace. There we go. For pig farm, or pig parks, or tilapia parks, maybe we could do dirt road, because dirt road emits 20% harmony. So we could do like a little plaza with dirt road and dirt and like trees, I guess. That's something to consider. Though I do think pigs do like as well. Wait, pigs don't care about What about tilapias? Tilapias don't care about It's just humans and dwarves. Do humans like harmony? Humans don't care about harmony. Okay, that's weird. I thought everyone liked because everyone likes statues. Interesting. Well, be what it be. We're running low on dudes, so I'm gonna add in 73 Dondorians. I think it's about time we made some Dondorian housing as well, before I forget. I think this block is definitely gonna be a housing block, so I might as well just use it. So we could have 18 residents or 20 residents, no, 24 residents. If we wanted to abandon a little bit of the privacy, I think I'm willing to do that. This will be 48 workers. Can maybe get away with like a double tiny apartment over here. I think I can actually, just barely. Yeah, I could do it like this. Very cool, so that's the more upper end stuff. That leaves this little zone here, which, can I build a longhouse in here? I just barely can. Okay, well I guess I will build a longhouse, why not? It gives even more housing space, and then we could put like a well or something in the last bit over here. A well and maybe a hearth, like a real tiny hearth. Yep, pretty sure they can navigate around the hearth, so that's going to be that. It's really dense, not very pretty block, but it'll house all the workers who are in the zone, probably. That combined with this favela up here will probably do it. Okay, we have 245 metal. I feel comfortable upgrading the tailors now. Because we are definitely producing a surplus of metal, I think. Probably? I mean, it looks like it's going down. Excuse me. Well, I guess we just advance the clock and see what's going on. Once this smelter's done, for sure, surely we'll be producing a surplus of metal. Certainly feels like we're producing a surplus. Maybe we're not importing enough ore and there's some sort of production snag. I guess I'll increase the import level. We're still producing a surplus in our treasury. I'm gonna add in a little bit more Dondorian action as well, so that all the shit gets built quicker. Because there's a lot of stuff on our plates here. Can we fit an acting troupe in here? Be entertainment, stage, pavilion. We could. Is it worthwhile to do so? Maybe. We could also fit one over here in the services block. That could be a thing. I think I would rather fit it in the services block, to be honest. So I'm gonna do that. It can wait until after our shit's built, though. Housing probably comes before services. Then again, looks like everyone's got housing. It's only a single Garthemi that doesn't have a house. That problem's probably going to go away on its own soon. Yeah, I'll build the pavilion now, why not? Let's see. Pavilion. Put it right here. Then we're going to want another lavatory to go up here. Just because dwarves got a shit. Let's see, if we build it one wider, we could do like the double latrine. Then I guess I'll just put the basins over here. Yep, there we go. I'll add like a little building nipple to make it slightly more rounded. It doesn't look like it's enough. Whatever. Look, if you're a pignoid working in the latrine, you're not going to be having a good time anyways. Let's be real here. If I wanted to be a little bit cheeky with it, I could have this whole area be like a park. You know, I think that does make sense to me. So I'll make this whole area plaza to start off with. But obviously, we're going to want some decorations too. Oh, this tiny area needs a torch. I'll just put one right here. Hopefully that doesn't block anything off. Anyway, so this area is gonna have 2 torches and a couple big statues. And then I guess some trees. The trees can go in the back here too. And that'll give some harmony for the people walking by. And then last but not least, we build a few benches right next to the statues. And I guess some of the people working, or some of the people watching the play are just gonna have to stand. Clearly we're gonna want the plaza to go around the stage too. Though people watching from the back are just gonna have to stand up. I mean, they could benefit from like a few torches and some like tiny statues, I guess. Why not? Also, it'll give like a nice background for the stage people. See like an intimidating terracotta army of just angry dude statues behind them. Adds a certain level of mystique. That'll be great. And we can just have some normal grandstone road leading up to it too. That'll be that part of the services block. If we wanted to be really cheeky with it, we could put like a speaker stand in here too, but that will crowd things out a little bit. Don't think it's necessary. We could put a speaker pavilion over here. They really still don't have the metal smelter done. I see how it is. I'm just gonna add even more Dwarfanoids. Why not? What's another industry we're gonna want? We could have potters, I guess. A mechanic wouldn't be too bad. We don't exactly have... Like, we're producing more machinery than we need, but we could just export machinery. What? How much is it? Exports for 300? Okay. Then I guess I'll just have like a minor release valve in this warehouse. This is the export warehouse, so I'll just have 2 crates there. This trader's probably not going to be getting much work done, but now we can have the mechanic here. It could be like a small mechanic shop. Does that make sense? Does not make sense. I could build it down here, I guess, next to the metal smelter. We could have like a tiny warehouse down here too. I feel a little bit like that's a bit much. Maybe if we have a tavern or a canteen over here, the warehouse here could serve like a dual purpose. Yeah, I think that would work. That would be good enough. That would justify the warehouse's existence. Can I make like another tiny workbench? I can. Excellent. We put storage right here. That's going to be 16 people working on mechanisms. This warehouse is going to be next to the janitor. It's going to be a 2-in-1 type warehouse. It's fully rounded, which is nice for the pignoid who's inevitably going to be working there. And we can only fit the 2 doors, unfortunately. Well, that's fine enough, I suppose. That should be enough crates for... No way. No! Another serial killer, no! A murder has occurred, but this murder is different. The victim is a human by the name of Kiara Armhammer. The body was found with its organs removed and collected. Perhaps this is done while the victim was alive, but we're hoping that was done post-mortem. What's even more disturbing is the note that was left. We must hope and pray this criminal is found and stopped. You should have stayed out of my way. Now your organs will never see the light of day again. But don't worry, they'll be put to good use in my collection, The Collector. Jesus, where did this occur? It was an actor too. That's so dramatic. There's a guard post literally next door too. That's so fucked up. There's 2 guard posts next door. How the fuck did this happen? I guess I'll put another one over here too. Just so we can reduce the likelihood of that happening. You know what? I think on that note, we can call the episode here a sort of dim, dramatic note to the expansion plans that we have in our city. Just when the governor, I guess the ruler, was happy and content with how things were going, optimistic, suddenly there's a grim reminder of the harsh realities of this world. That being said, I believe that this industrial sector has been a great success so far. And we've also made great progress in getting the basic beginnings of the Dwarven Quarter. I'm very glad I went with the industrial quarter first because this shit has taken literally forever. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. And I hope to see you next time for more Songs of Six. Goodbye!